Hello everybody and a very good afternoon, good morning, welcome along to Crafters TV. Welcome to this Sunday morning. Hang on a minute, it's not Sunday morning. Colour me happy, it's normally on a Sunday, isn't it? What are we doing today? Welcome to this Thursday with the cut. Hang on a minute, it's not Thursday. What's going on here? We're kind of having a bit of excitement today on a Wednesday because we've got a cartload coming up, a Wednesday cartload at 6 o'clock this evening with Leanne and Craig, 3-hour extravaganza. And do you know what? We thought we'd throw in on a Wednesday afternoon one of your faves, Colour Me Happy. And this particular Colour Me Happy show is going to feature all about our Academy of Colour. This is such a brilliant way for you to start your colouring journey, get more confident with your colouring, you know, get into colouring. We have got literally all of the Academy of Colours that we've released so far. And we're going to be looking at them all throughout this show in order as well for you. So that's the brilliant thing. The prices that you'll see when we come around to doing these as well, amazing, up to 40% off across the range from the original Academy of Colour with the binder through to your portraits, through to your flora and fauna and your fur and feathers as well. There's going to be plenty of opportunity for you guys to ask those questions. Also share with us your makes as well. Let us see how your colouring has come on over the course of maybe using the Academy of Colour. You can get in touch with us in the usual ways. By the way, just to say a massive thank you to you guys for your patience today, and actually to the team behind the scenes here who've been working furiously. I know a lot of you will know, had a few problems with YouTube earlier on. So I know a lot of you are probably watching us on Facebook right now, and as far as I'm aware, we are still broadcasting on YouTube via the Totally Tiffany page. So a massive thank you to those of you who swapped over to Facebook earlier on, but if you normally watch on YouTube, that's where you can find the shows over the course of the day today. Now, as I mentioned, it is going to be an amazing couple of shows. Cartload coming later on. We will be featuring some of the items from the Cartload show in this show, some of the big sellers, including those mystery bags. But this show is all about Colour Me Happy. It's all about the Academy of Colour. And I'm delighted to say that one of my absolute faves, me crafty partner in crime, the man who I saw yesterday wearing a Christmas jumper. I thought, you know what, if I know him as well as I think I know him, he's going to be wearing one today. So I thought I'll shove mine on as well. Here he is. He's everyone's favourite crafty Christmas elf, the Foosty Goosty from Carnoustie, the Hottie Scotty, Mr. Craig.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, Halloween is past, so you're going to have to think of a Christmas version.
Oh, yeah.
That you could go. Although I still don't mind Goosty from Carnoustie. It's fab.
Well, you can have Christmas ghosts, can't you?
Christmas ghosts, yeah. Scrooge.
Christmas
yeah. Carol.
Yeah.
So we could do, yeah. Boy, yeah, changing it up a little bit, as you just said a moment ago. This is going to be such a lovely but fun Colour Me Happy. It's all about the Academy of Colour. I have the absolute pleasure of stepping in with Leanne for this show here. Whereas, as Ben said, we're going to start right at the beginning. We're going to work our way through. This is all about that educational journey. So when you are spending your hard-earned money onto the tools, whether it's going to be the original box, maybe you are going to be going in with the additional box, you are on that journey with Leanne herself. It's going to take you into those videos that are done just for you that are in the Academy of Colour. Leanne does do the very first one live, and then they are there for you to go back to whenever you want. We're going to step you all the way through because there's Facebook groups as well where Leanne pops in. She gives you feedback when it comes to your colouring, any additional hints and tips. And the main thing is, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's with that educational journey as well. We love Ben, we love the presenters here. However, what you don't have with Leanne is people like Ben or like myself or any other saying, you've got limited stock, we need to pause, we've got comments. It's you and Leanne all the way through. Pause her, rewind her, and just learn from her whenever you want. That's what we're going to go over on the next 2 hours.
And feel free to fire in those questions as well. You know, maybe you are seeing this for the first time today. Maybe you want to know more about the content that you're going to get those questions in. That is what we're here for. Loads of you already watching. We've got Superstar Susie on the socials. Diane is with us from Tallahassee in Florida. Hi also to Lorna from Western Supermare. Jackie Deschamps joins us from Essex. Hi to Melanie Downey from a windy Florida. Georgianne is in saying hi, Ben and Craig from Clearwater, Florida. Hello. Janet Boyd says hello from Michigan. Hello. Cara Willing is in from Plymouth in Devon. I didn't know you were from Plymouth, Cara. That's amazing. We've had loads of Devonians in today. today. We have the Plymouth Massive in, the Seaton Massive, the Torquay Massive, got the Brixham Massive here, you've got the Barnstable Massive in the gallery, whoop, 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 representing Devon today. Hi to Regina, who's in from Buffalo. Jennifer Joseph is in from Florida. Hi to Karen from Kentucky. It's still morning for me, says Karen. Hi Carletta from Arkansas. Carol Guy is in from Wisconsin. Jill's in from North Yorkshire. Jerry's in saying good morning all from Southern Maryland. Hello Craig, hello Ben and the crew. We've got Jamie and George in the gallery. Well, hey, they said. I've recently started my colouring journey and I really enjoy these shows, says Jerry. Melanie saying Ben and Craig looking very festive. I'm taking a lead out of his book today. I'm actually quite glad that he wore a Christmas jumper yesterday, because when I came back in on Monday I was itching to wear something a little bit Christmassy, but then I thought nobody else really will, but then I thought I could count on you.
Well, absolutely. And the thing is as well, just to let you guys know, just after Halloween we all got an email saying as we're going into the Christmas period, feel free to wear any festive jumpers. You know, I don't need to be asked twice. You know, it's a given. I'll do that straight after Halloween. I'm all Christmas. That's me, ready to go.
And we've got the Christmas set that you'll see in Wake Up Call, where we'll sit down, and behind Craig's got the massive Christmas tree, and there's a hat on the Crafters TV sign. So, I mean, come on, we're just blending in with our surroundings now, aren't we, you see?
We are.
Hi to Linda, who's joined us from Milwaukee. Stephanie says, good morning, Craig and Ben, looking very festive today. We are 46 days, I think, away from Christmas now, counting down. Pamela's in from West Sussex. Hi to Debbie O'Meara from Southampton, and hi to Katie Hartley from Coventry. Now, before we get on to the Academy of Colours, let's have a quick look at something which is proving very, very popular indeed. We are fast approaching half of the stock of this gone. You know what? I feel a little bit bad because it's coming up on Cartload. It is actually Leanne's mystery bag, but I thought it's such a great deal that we couldn't really not show you this on Wake Up Call and kind of just show you again here on Colour Me Happy. Almost half of the stock has gone of this bag. Value is amazing. £109, $136. This is your saving. This is your platinum price, and this is why. Let me just tell you, by the way, a quarter of the stock of this had already gone before we even showed you what was in the bag, and that for me tells me that you guys know how great our mystery bags are. When we put on the front of it, you know, Leanne's mystery bag or Craig's mystery bag or Sarah's mystery bag, you know it's going to be even more super duper special, so that's why you bought it. And then almost another quarter of the stock went in Wake Up Call because we looked into the bag and I showed you the first item that you're going to get is worth more than the value of the bag itself. Your 8-inch album spine die is included in this mystery bag, so absolutely perfect if you love to make your albums, your little mini books, if you like to make things like your your journals as well. That's the first item that you're going to get worth the value of the bag and then some. And then on top of all of that, you're getting this. You're getting your cut and embossed folder, the interlocking circles in the slimline. Next up, love these. These are, I think, so cute. You know, if you're looking for like fun things to go in the center of your cards, the spiral pop-out dies are brilliant. That one is the honeycomb. And as we delve further, talk about popping items into the bag which are new. I mean, this literally launched, what, about 6 weeks ago, the Angel Collection? We're giving you the Ethereal Angel Stamp and Die set. So that's stamps and dies, 7 of those included in the mystery bag. On top of that, you're also going to get your inverted stitched zigzag oval nesting dies. There's 8 of those, super useful, super easy to get crafting with. That's included. Is there more, I hear you cry? Yes, there is, because we're going to give you from the Vintage Butterflies collection the gilding flake set. So you've got your tool in there, your glue and your gilding flakes to be creating amazing effects with. On top of that, we're giving you a paper pad, which is probably one of the most popular collections that we've done all year, the Country Lane collection in the 6x6. So you're getting the 36 double-sided sheets within that paper pad. And if that isn't enough to knock your socks off, we're giving you one of our opaque pigment inks in the Damson Wine and one of our Midas metallic ink pads in the blush. That is stunning value for money, and that is also the reason why we are heading towards half of the stock gone. And let me just reiterate again, if you're thinking, oh, there's probably hundreds left, we didn't have a huge amount of stock in the first place, so the fact that almost half of it is gone now means that you really need to get your skates on. I wouldn't wait until, and as much as I don't want, you know, Craig and Leanne to be here later on and for her mystery bag to have sold out, I wouldn't wait, because I have a feeling when you come back at 6 o'clock to enjoy that show, we're going to be talking, you know, limited stocks here. So get it whilst you can. If you like the look of it, I mean, for the value for money of that spine alone, you need to grab it. £24, $32 is the platinum price. Right. Let's get cracking. Mickey's joined us from Sandwich, Illinois. Hi. Ooh, Sandwich. Haven't we got a sandwich here, haven't we, in the UK? Is it in Kent, I think? Lorna says, I absolutely love the Academy of Colour. It's really improving my colouring. I was one with all the gear and no idea, but I'm gaining confidence every time. Please as well, if you feel that you want to, we would love it if you want to send in a few pictures to show us where you were and where you are now. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. You know, like they do those what they called memes. Memes. What do they say? How it was, how it is now. Do you know the ones I mean?
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah.
How I was, how it's going.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. I'd love to see like pictures of
and
where
like even transitions or
Yeah.
things like that. If you like these little plays on whether it's Instagram or that, of course you don't have to.
Yeah.
The transition, or as Ben says, just then and now. Be good to see.
Love it. Send the pictures in. Hi to Zoe from West Sussex. Hi to Diane from Florida. Mary's in from Maine. Tammy's in from Philadelphia. Hi to Alicia. And Thea is in saying, hoi, hoi, everyone. Nice jumper, Ben. Thank you. Anita says, love your jumper as well, Craig. Elf is my favourite Christmas movie. Tell you what, if you're here in the UK as well, have you seen the advert for that supermarket?
Asda.
Oh, he says it.
Yeah. And that's actually a good point as well. Can I just clarify as well?
Yeah.
Anytime you see me with anything elf related, so whether it's this jumper, whether it is my shopping bag I use when I go food shopping, I bought all of these well previously before that supermarket started to use elf. If you're outside the UK, what I would do, Asda per Walmart family, or it was anyway, go onto YouTube, have a look, see what you mean. It's brilliant what they've done with their Christmas advert. But I've got all my attire before elf and Asda.
He always has to get in there first, doesn't he? He always has to be the
trendsetter.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the people at Asda didn't come to you and go, "Oh, Craig, what's your favourite Christmas movie?" And then you probably had a chat with them, told them it was Elf, and helped them to develop the advert. That's probably
exactly it. Yeah. It's not what you know in retail; it's who you know. In my background, not that I had never worked with Asda. No. Always a co-op. Never worked with Tesco. I thought, but better say a few others. Morrison's as well. But yeah, a lot of fun as well. And it's Christmas time.
Absolutely
maybe good
right.
for presents.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, talk about presents, you've got them right here. We're going to look at the Academy of Colour, the original first up, the 124-piece set. So Craig is going to walk us through all this. But I mean, it's amazing, really. The original, with so much in it. You also get the binder with this as well, of course. The savings today are huge too. So this was 148 quid, $197. $59.64 you'll save today, almost $80. And if you're platinum, it's £71.20, $94.40. And it's worth, again, bearing in mind, I know Craig will talk around this, the value for money of the physical items that you get is immense, but you then can't really put a price on what you get from the learnings from Leanne, can you?
And I'm glad you said that, because I can say this because I've seen it, and it's coming from a lot of you. And by all means, let Ben know that you agree with what I'm away to say.
Yep.
As this educational journey has gone on with Leanne, so many of you have come back and written into the group that Leanne does with the Academy of Colour, are just contacted saying the tools are amazing. They're great. Top quality, Spectrum Noir. You would have happily have paid your money for just the education alone. That's you guys saying that, coming to Leanne afterwards. So if you are thinking about it, that's the extent of the education journey you get when it comes to Academy of Colour. You get everything. You can use each box as a standalone. But what I would say, and I'm in that journey, I'm just a couple of educational videos behind, I need to catch up. What I would say though, seriously think about it by starting at the beginning. I know it might sound an obvious thing to say, but by starting at the beginning, you're working your way through. Each box, it focuses on something different with Leanne. And what you will find as well is when it comes to maybe the portraits, she may incorporate techniques that she's covered within that original box. So the best way, starting at the beginning and working your way along. It's a education that you're not going to regret it. Everyone, the love that everyone has that is already in the Academy of Colour. As I say, you can start later on in that journey, but you are going to get that best result right at the start, whether it's yourself or what I would say as well, if you have a son, a daughter, grandson, granddaughter, or any family member that's going into college or going into uni and they're studying arts, this is going to be a good thing. As I always say, remember, Spectrum Noir, they're world-renowned artists that are now using our Spectrum Noir products. That says it all. What a perfect way to start, Ben.
Absolutely right. So many of you just saying how much you love your Academy of Colours already. I'm drooling, says Mary, over the Academy of Colour collection. I must ask Santa to bring it for Christmas. And again, this is a great show to jump in. If you want to get on this, you know, get family members watching, get your partners watching, give them a little nudge and go, oi, oi, you know what I want? This is what I want, because again, it's the gift that keeps on giving, and it's like, it's a journey, isn't it? That's what a lot of you have described as well, like helping you along your colouring journey, making you become that colourist you always wanted to be. Right, we'll do a few more hellos in just a second, but let us get cracking and let's have a look. So the original Academy of Colour is a bit of a bumper box, this, Craig, isn't it?
It absolutely is. It really is, Ben. And just to reiterate what Ben said as well, any questions, and get them in. I hold no apologies. This 2 hours will be a lot of talking and explaining and the purpose. We will be demoing, don't worry. Don't be fair, don't be scared to ask any questions.
Yeah.
You might think it's a silly question. There's no such thing as a silly question. Get them in. If I can help, great. If not, we've got Leanne later on, and Leanne, so I can always feed that back to her as well. But I'm sure we'll be able to help straight off the bat. But here we go. As you said, Ben, it's the starter. This is the bumper. This is giving you everything to start on that journey. And I'm going to keep calling it a journey because that's exactly what it is. Colouring journey with Leanne. Now, straight off the bat as well, I know this isn't an important thing to many people, to crafters it is. How luxurious does it look?
Looks the business.
You will get your wrap round it as well, of course. Mine doesn't because I'm away to show you, but it's luxurious. You've got that magnetic clip as well.
Yeah.
If I throw back very quickly to the craft kits, many of you decant the craft kits into folders or wallets or that to combine on space.
Yeah.
Limit your space. You won't do that with this. You'll have that proud on that shelf, and it's going to make you want to go back time and time again. So let's dive straight in. This is your main bumper. This is the details that are on the screen right now. What you have got is you've got a variety of colouring mediums. You have got your alcohol pens. Underneath, you've got some of your watercolour pens, aqua pens as well. I'm going to go through all this in a moment because this is what it's all about. On the back of this, there is a QR code. You don't need to have a special app, don't worry, just open your phone. You know, it could be Android, it could be Apple, whatever it is. If you've got your phone camera connected online, your Wi-Fi, internet, on the back, just pop that photo app over your QR code. It's going to take you straight to the videos. The videos are there for you forever. There's no time limit. They will always be there. Keep this safe. There is a sticky dot on the back already, so just pop it onto your lid or pop it somewhere safe. But this is where it's going to start with your alcohol colours here. You can see they are different from what you already know and love already. What we do have is more of a finer but flexible brush nib that you can see here when it comes to the alcohol colouring. And then when we go to that opposite side, again, you've got these nibs here when it comes to each of these pens. Variety of colours where Leanne's going to step you through the initial colouring process to start with. If I do move over, because it's not just colouring Leanne's going to cover. She covers your techniques, your shading, your blending, your light sources to get the absolute best blend, shade, lay down of colour. This is where you're going to get everything to start you off. You are going to be getting your opaque pigment white pen.
Okay.
Now, when you see me do alcohol colourings, I like to put that little white shade in. You can be doing that with this one here. You've got your spritz tool. Because you've got aqua pens, once again, techniques Leanne will show you, you're going to be using your spritzer tool as well. And then you've got two paint brushes. We could have put in our purple paintbrushes. That's not what it's about. It's about that class, that education, that sophisticated look when you have got your paintbrushes. So you've got your black ones that all tie in together. Then what you're going to find is inside, you're going to get 3 stamp sheets. Now, at first you might think, okay, circle, heart, but what am I going to do with them?
Yeah.
I'm going to go over these boards just shortly. But this is where, as I say, you are starting at the beginning with Leanne. Now, you may feel as though you're an incredible colourist, and many of you are. This is now also taking it to that next level. Or these hints and tips that you maybe wouldn't have thought of. For me, never thought about laying down grey first. then building up that shade with the colour. Stepped you all through here. So triangle, cylinder, heart, circle, techniques that Leanne's going to be showing you by using these stamps as well. Even when it comes from light sources above.
Yeah.
I'll show you other boards just shortly where it explains light sources from different directions. Top, bottom, left, right, corner to corner. Got your texture for your fur. Direct light from the centre, so that's sunlight going from the middle outwards. You've got from left-hand side, right-hand side. So this is some of the basic elements that you'll be able to then transition through to the other boxes that you may potentially get your hands on. But it's a whopper load of stamps. It's not just these ones.
Oh, wow.
You've got, as you'll find with the additional boxes, you're going to be able to cover your portraits, fauna and flora, all these different aspects, but you've got your starter off as well. And this is what I was saying earlier on, is you will find techniques that Leanne will use these throughout that educational course. So it is worthwhile starting at the beginning. And then we've got some more. This one is going with our flowers. We've got some sentiments in that as well. They all serve a purpose. Your flowers, your butterflies, your little leaves, your foliage, they're all there because throughout these classes, these will be used, these will be incorporated to help to teach you and for you to learn from. Then what we've also got is we've got a really, really strong material acetate here. This isn't for shaker cards. Please don't use it for shakers or anything like that. This is your palette.
Yep.
This is what you're going to be using when it comes to your aqua pens, so you can do your blending, you can be picking up your colours. You've then got your cardstock. So this is the most perfect cardstock, Nina cardstock, to the size that you're going to be using when learning quite a lot. This is in here included as well. Not just alcohol, it's water-based, so of course you are getting your watercolour card as well. Where possible, always look to stock up on your cardstock because you're going to be using lots of it, and it all comes combined in this lovely box, Ben. But that's not the only thing.
No.
If I pop all these back for a moment, I'm going to sort them just shortly, but what I want to show you is you also get your folder, your binder. This is where you're going to keep everything. And what I mean by that, because in that box, you also get dividers for each of the boxes, additional boxes, so to speak. So what you're going to do is, opening up your divider, this is giving you, straight off the bat right now, if you've never seen Academy of Colour, you know the direction we're going in. Started off with portraits, which I'll go over just shortly, flora and fauna, feathers and fur, cute characters, and then we've got duo aqua pencils, duo wax pencils that you can see here, and some more. I'm not going to go over all of these, but this is what you're going to be learning. And then you're going to be popping all of these into their binder. So you're going to keep them secure, you're going to keep them in order. You've got these little sealable pockets as well. This isn't always necessarily about creating a card and a project straight away, Ben. This is about learning that first little piece of artwork. You might think it looks terrible. And I'll say that because when I start off on things, sometimes you think, oh my gosh, that looks horrible. I'm not keeping that. You know what? Keep it. It is about that transition, that journey from starting off to where you end. Start off with a little bit, pop it in there, come back tomorrow, do a little bit more. Pop it in here, leave it. Keep all your work, scraps, notes, all of these you want to keep because this is what's going to take you throughout that learning process of the Academy of Colour. What I will do is I'll show you these in our boards forum because this also shows off how much that you're going to be getting when it comes to the tools to start you off. Your watercolour cardstock, you've got your alcohol marker cardstock, your acetate, then you've got all your stamps. It shows you off just better here. 8x8 in size with a variety of stamps. I mean, how much would you pay for that stamp sheet alone?
I know, and there's 40 in total.
40.
40, can you believe?
Spectrum Noir alcohol pens.
Yeah.
You've got your aqua pens, you've got your mediums, your brushes, and then if I show you these ones here, the boards, this is showing you from the main box that you've got your duo colour Spectrum Noir, that one being your alcohol pens, and of course you have got your that was your alcohol, that was your aqua pens as well. So this is what you're going to be using to start with. So I think what we can do is if we pop back to you, Ben, for a moment or two, and we'll stick with this first box just briefly,
yes,
and I'll show you what you're going to be learning, because you can go back time and time again and learn that process.
Just a few comments coming through, and I've loved looking through that collection. It shows you the value for money, but also like with the stamps, you know, you might be thinking, what's that circle stamp in there? What's that? You know, the point is, we haven't just like thrown a load of random stamps in there. It's all like a purpose. It's all to kind of help you take that next step on the journey. And also I love from the original Academy of Colour that you're seeing here, you almost get a bit of a sneak peek as to what's coming up in the future boxes. So, you know, if you want to buy these individually, you can do. If you decide, I just want to plump for the portraits, which we'll come on to later, or the floral fawn, you can do. But if you want to get the very best out of this, if you want to, you know, really become that next level colorist, you've got to go on the whole scheme really, and this is a great way to start by getting the original for £71.20 or $94.40. And like Craig said, really important for me as well particularly is that, you know what, when you do get started, maybe, you know, you haven't coloured for ages, maybe never coloured before, and you do that first kind of a piece from the course and you think, oh, that's not very good, this is a load of rubbish. Don't throw it away, because it's important to almost document everything in your binder so that you can keep that first one that you thought was rubbish, and then, you know, a few weeks down the line you're feeling more confident and you can kind of like, you can always chart your journey. I think it's really important to keep everything that you do, even if you think that it's not great. It's only going to help you to grow and to realise just what a brilliant course this is. Laura Schweiger Schnuckel on Facebook says the education is worth every penny I've paid for the Academy of Colour. Many one-time classes are far more expensive. Thank you to Leanne and Crafter's Companion. That's another great point, isn't it? Think about, like, if you signed up for like an evening class or something like that, how much are you paying an hour for an evening class? You know, you know, when I was doing my signing lessons and stuff, I know how much I was paying for an hour. Like one-to-one stuff. It's a lot of money.
And the thing is as well, and I'm going to say this because I've purposely gone out and made sure what I say is correct. There's classes out there that you can do online that stay there for 30 days. Some are maybe 60 days, some are maybe 6 months. These, as Leanne says, they are there all the time. You've got the card, you've got the QR code. I presume you'll be able to save it to your bookmarks. You can go back today, next month, in a year's time. They're going to be there for a refresh. Or, if you want to buy this now and start in January when it's still cold and it's boring and we've got none to look forwards to because all the celebrations are over, that's your time. You can do that at your level.
Yeah, and then just another comment that echoes that. Lorna Fernandez saying the education is worth the full price of the boxes and more. The tools are just a bonus. Working with the exact tools, as Leanne means, you can see the result as you go. Thank you, Crafter's Companion. Hi to Erica, who's joined us, and Clarice from South Carolina. Colette says, I love that binder. And Betty Weaver says, this is a great breakdown for those just learning about the Academy of Colour, and a great reminder for us just to yet to start our journey. And that's what you're going to find out over the show. As Craig says, we're not going to be putting together loads of cards, but you're going to see all the boxes in the entirety. Craig's going to show you one or two sort of hints and tips as far as the techniques are concerned. And as we said, this is the opportunity for you to ask those questions as well, should you want to do that. Cindy's joined us from Missouri. Hi to Deanna from Connecticut, Vicky Butterfield and Lavonda. And I tell you what, great shout from Craig Rancor. If we don't, I don't think we're going to have any sort of finished cards at the end of the show because it's going to be technique-y based. But he said, should we do instead a vote for jumper of the show? I'm up for that at the end of the show.
I'm up for that.
At the end of the show.
Yeah.
How many jumpers are you going to get through? Well, it's going to be one or two.
What shirt have you got underneath?
Just a white shirt.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Have
you? No, you can't do that. Merry Christmas,
Home Alone.
Healthy animal.
Home Alone.
And a happy...
You got there.
And a happy New Year. Have you seen my Home Alone Christmas jumper?
No.
It's got Marv and Harry on it.
Is it?
One on the front, one on the back.
No.
Oh, I should have brought... If I only had known, I would have worn that one in today and we could have Home Aloned up.
Could have.
We'll get voting. Disregard his T-shirt. It'll be on the jumpers only, not the T-shirt as well. We'll do that later on. Just very quickly, we're going to have a look at that box in more detail. The Spectrum Noir mystery bag. I'll quickly fly through this for you. This is on cartload later on, very popular. We have more stock of this than we do of the Leanne bag. But just again, to bear in mind the value here, this is worth over £100, over $140. Look at your platinum price. There's the value of the bag right there. If you do buy more than one, by the way, you will get duplicates, but we're going to give you the 12 set of the aquas in the primary, and you're getting the coastal blend in our tri-blend alcohol markers. That there is the value of the bag, but it's been brilliantly put together, this, because you're also going to get one of our craft mats, the heat-resistant non-slip craft mats. That's included within the bag, and then brilliantly put together, this, because you're getting a little selection of everything else, a set of the illustrators. You're getting some of our sparkle pens in here as well, in the soft pastels. You're also going to get one of our classiques. This one is in the vintage pink. On top of all of that, you're getting the set of our art liners, 6 of those in there, perfect if you like to do a bit of doodling, your calligraphy, things like your Zentangle. You're going to get a set of your misters included in there as well, so perfect for doing all of those spritzing techniques with your aqua pens that you're going to get in the collection. And we're also throwing in one of our very popular metallic pigment ink pads. That one comes to you in the rose gold. That's worth over £100, almost $150 worth. £32 or $40 today. Snap these up before we get to Cartload later on, because I know that show is going to be manic. A 3-hour extravaganza later on with Craig and Leanne. Hi Barbara, who's joined us from Indiana. Hi also to Erica and Cindy, who are with us. We're going to get back and have a little look further into the Academy of Colour right now. As I said, any questions you want to ask, feel free to ask them. And as Craig says, there are no silly questions. Maybe this is the first time you've seen it. Maybe you're just wanting to get into colouring. Ask that burning question. If it means that you can go away with any of these, in the knowledge that you know exactly what you're going to be doing with them, then please make sure that you ask that question. Right, what are you going to show us, mister?
Right, so I just want to say again, please don't think we're not going to be demoing. We absolutely are doing. It's just that, or are going to do. It's just obviously there is a lot that I want to make sure that you know, because we do get new viewers every single day. Some that have maybe not started colouring, and it's a good thing to point out as well. As I was saying earlier on about, you might feel confident when it comes to colouring. You're an incredible colourist. You're still going to learn more from Leanne. Think of it as that continuation into maybe things that you've never thought of before. But on the other hand, if you've never done colouring whatsoever, because Leanne goes right back to the very beginning, you are going to be kind of, in some ways, catapulted when it comes to that learning technique. Exactly. You could do. And then you're going to take what you already know and learn from Leanne with your tri-blends, your classiques, your aqua pens, sparkle pens, all of these can come in. So let's go through our boards, but this is still with the main box here. And I'll briefly go over this one again because we did touch upon it a moment or two ago. Using the shapes that come included with the stamps, this is when Leanne's going to be showing you how you're creating that light source. Shades from different directions that we can see here. The left, the right, or from the bottom. You can go from the top in that as well if you want to. Cylinder, heart, circles. 4 different shapes that are going to give you 4 different looks depending on which direction you're going in. You'll also learn from light sources from the top or the bottom, from the left-hand side. Light source from the middle, going outwards as well, that you can see here. So not just on these stamps, you're going to follow that through when it comes to your additional stamps included. Then when it comes to alcohol colouring, using that grey to underline your image, your colouring. This is what I was on about before that I never thought of before. And this is where Leanne will show you again. Left, right, centre, above. But this is laying down the grey first.
Yes.
Never. I use the grey to go around my image. Never ever thought about laying that grey down, that's going to create even more depth with that one pen that you can see just here. So that is it from your alcohol bases. But then don't forget, it's not just alcohol, it's water-based as well with the aqua pens. Creating that light source, left, right, above, front on, that you can see bang centre in the middle. You're going to learn that from, say, the cherries, but then you can then pull that one through, follow on to the tree, or the butterfly, or any of the other images. You're learning that aspect of the direction and you're following it through to the additional ones. Then also, when it comes to your alcohol colouring, remembering these are what you're going to be getting to start with, your palette blending. So whether you're going to be creating your custom colour, smooth blending, your ombre effect, that's where your 3 pens that you can be using. Hair and skin, if it is you're creating folds within the clothes, all is going to be in this Academy of Colour.
Yeah.
Palette blending. Blending with alcohol pens, you can do that. You're going to go and creating that texture. That's that flicking motion.
Yeah.
Once again, you'll have heard Leanne and many of us talk you through it through Crafters TV shows, one-on-one with Leanne. She gives you the knowledge as to do the flicking, the stippled effect that you can see there. Once again, grey light, shade light, you're going in with multiple techniques in one. Palette blending, creating new colours, smooth blending with 3 pens, creating light, shade, all of these. Aqua pens that are included, water base. So once again, basic watercolouring, blending 2 colours together, creating that light shade, wet into wet is what you're going to be learning. Creating custom colour when it comes to your water base, your portrait, stamping with the pens, stamping with the pens and drawing that colour out, stamping with the pens and spritzing. That's a technique I love doing.
Such a dramatic effect, isn't it?
So dramatic.
Yeah.
Leave it like that, or if you're using your large stamping platform, what I like to do as well, Ben, is go in with my sharp noir black and stamp over the top. So you've got that explosion of colour, but that fine line. However, in saying that, you don't need to do that. Leanne will teach you how you can then be creating these techniques. But once again, going back into alcohol colouring with stamps that are included here. So I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to move up, give George a helping hand. Basic colouring blending. This is what you're also going to be learning. Bringing in what you have learned from each individual element, pulling it through.
Yeah.
Not only the stamps within this box, but then what you're going to do is you're going to transition what you know and learn into the next box, the next box, and the next box. But you're going to be grabbing all that nugget of knowledge that Leanne comes to you with each additional box, binding them together. It's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Watercolouring. Basic watercolouring with your aqua pens there, your stamps. You can see all these different looks that you're going to be getting.
Incredible.
Absolutely incredible. Going in with your additional light source with your pen, but because you've got your aqua pens, splatter, flicker techniques, packaging technique, resist overheat emboss, letterpress technique with glycerin, stencil, acrylic block, background wash, splodge background, faux bleach and resist, ombre, salt. I actually done a reel on TikTok just the other day, funny enough, with this technique. This is all, it's not just colouring, blending and shading that you're going to be learning. You are going to be learning all these techniques as well. Once you've learned one colour, use what you've learned and just change colour. Change that colour that you can see within these ideas here. So whether you want to create that ombre effect with different colours, you can absolutely do that. You've got everything to start you off. You will need an alcohol and a waterproof ink pad. Basically, other than that, Ben, everything else is included.
Yeah.
All of these you're going to be doing time and time again, different colours, different ways, different techniques. And as I say, that is just the very first box.
And that is what is incredible. And actually, do you know what? As much as you're not going to see kind of, completed cards during the show, Craig is going to show you some techniques and demos. So many of you just saying how much you're loving looking through the contents of the box, taking some time overseeing exactly what's in there, and also lots of love just coming and seeing the boards. Kind of puts in your mind, doesn't it, of all the different things that you're going to be able to achieve, all the different kind of effects that you can achieve with the different pens that you've got, with the stamps that you've got, and of course all the things that you're going to be learning in more detail with Leanne as you go through the Academy of Colour. Sydney says, I just received mine yesterday. I can't wait to get started. Stephanie says, I love seeing these demo boards. And Fred, yes, I always think of you when this comes up. She says, the great thing about this is you'll earn a doctorate in doodling when it is done. Absolutely, you will. And of course, when you do finish the course, you do get a little certificate as well, which you can. Yeah.
Ben, all these boards and that, Leanne had said on the last show, these get photographed.
Yeah.
Even her notes, her scribbles, are photographed and they go on in the group as well on Facebook. So if you're thinking or trying to screenshot while I'm going through them, they're all there for you.
Yeah, absolutely right. Trisha's joined us. Hi, Trisha Love. Hi to Cindy Shannon and Cindy Thompson, who's joined us from Minnesota. And a lot of you love the idea of doing a vote for the jumper of the show. You don't vote now. We'll do it at the end of the show. I might have to, because a lot of people liking the shirt jumper combo. So I might have to go and raid the cupboard in a minute. I might be able to get one up on that.
I'm not actually sure if I can show it.
What?
Show the T-shirt. I know I've done it already. You know.
Yeah.
But well,
it's Home Alone, isn't it? Home Alone. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Love the jumpers. Can't decide which one I prefer, Suzanne. Wait till later to decide. Kirsty Lee says yes. Jumper of the show would be great. And Kimberly says, Craig, I love that T-shirt. Keep the comments coming through. Hold off on the votes for now. We'll do that at the end of the show. But if there's anything that you want to ask about any of the Academy of Colours, then feel free to do so. Shall we take a little break and give you some opportunity to get those baskets checked out? And then when we come back, we will dive headlong into more Academy of Colour demonstrations and ideas. And this is a great opportunity not only to check out your basket, but also to jot down any questions and get those sent in so we can answer them. After this short break, we'll be right back.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Our craft experts come from all over the UK to HQ up in the northeast, and here they are telling you a little bit about where they're from and what it's famous for.
I'm originally from London, so Stoke Newington I was born and bred, and loved London. I mean, I love London now, something really magical about being in the capital. Grew up in Norfolk, loved it. The countryside, the scenery, it was very green and just beautiful and picturesque. I now live in Bedford, which is brilliant for work and life, because I feel like Bedford is sort of central to all these places around us, so I get to see so many different places. It's just great to be there.
So I live in Barnsley. And I say a town, it's a town in South Yorkshire. And South Yorkshire's a gorgeous place. Barnsley in particular, I love. It gets a lot of flack, but it's a really beautiful, picturesque place to live, especially because there's lots of green places around there, lots of lovely parks and things like that, but it is a gorgeous place to live. Elthicka, neighbouring village to us, which is just full of history, and I love going there ever such a lot. Famous, what's it famous for? Oh, the most famous thing I can think of is a film called Kes. A local author called Barry Hines, who lived in Oiland Common, made a very famous film called Kes that is well known from where I am, and actually filmed literally around the corner from where I live.
I have to tell you, every single person works tirelessly behind the scenes, and I can't just give a shout out to one person, because for me it has to be John, Tracy and Jake.
Going to give a shout out to our backstage hero, and I'm actually going to say heroes. It has got to be our product coordination team. It's got to be.
Because without those three people, when we're on air, we wouldn't be able to function like we do. They make sure we have everything we need, right from the samples to the product to having a drink of water throughout the show. They really look after us.
You see us day in, day out, 7 days a week, live on TV. We're crafting away, we're hopefully inspiring you. Every single card, Every single product, every single tool that we touch has come from product coordination. Those guys are the unsung hero. They're there making sure we have the products, we have the inks, we have the tools, we have everything that we need. We have the power to actually work our Gemini ranges. The smooth running of behind the scenes of Crafters TV is all down to our product coordination team.
He's got a jumper t-shirt combo. Well, now I've got the jumper jacket combo. I'm not quite sure it works colour-wise, but in the case it's got Father Christmas on it. It's got baubles, bells and candy canes, little snow globes here. So, you know, when you are thinking about who to vote for later on, you know, just bear in mind.
Do you know what I love?
What?
Sarah and Leanne are so competitive when it comes to the mystery bags. And me and you are so competitive when it comes to Christmas jumpers and t-shirts.
Who's the most Christmassy? Fred says snowmen are always cooler than an elf who is home alone. Oh, I like that, Fred. I like that. BJ Clark says good morning from Oysterville, Washington. Hi to Teresa, who says good morning everyone from Long Island. And Caitlin Vaughan says this is an investment, not a purchase. Absolutely right. It's an investment in you and an investment in, you know, where you want to be as far as your colouring is concerned. You are going to show us a little bit, aren't you, with this original Academy of Colour?
I am, yeah. I think it's worthwhile. We're going to move on, but I think because so many of you have invested in the original Academy of Colour in just this show alone, let's do a little bit of colouring before we show you the other ones, the add-ons, so to speak. So we're going to go in with this cute little doggy here. So we're going to go in. Now, what you are going to be doing is everything that you already know when it comes to stamping. You're not going to be doing anything different. You use your platform that you find easiest. So whether it is your large one, whether it's going to be the 6x6, 4x4, rocker blocks, because I know Leanne adores the rocker blocks, that's up to you.
Yeah.
I am going to go in with my Nina cardstock. Remember, you do get a load in your bundle anyway. You do get your watercolour card as well. So you will need, I know I said you would need to invest in an ink pad. You would need to invest in some sort of stamping platform. If you've got another branded one at home, that will be fine.
Yeah.
That will be absolutely fine. Other stamping platforms will be working with these, size dependent.
That's on the Shop the Day page today, the stamping platform.
Excellent.
So grab that, $24.99, I think, normal price. I think.
Yeah, rings a bell to me anyway. Does ring a bell. So pressing and stamping. Now I've got a funny feeling because this stamp is brand new. Let's see if it's going to bubble slightly. Ever so slightly, plus I've missed. Now, if I've missed, doesn't matter.
No bother.
You're just going to go back and you're going to press again. So we're going to go in like so. So then you can go in actual fact, that is good. That's actually not a problem whatsoever. What I would say, brand new stamps, if they ever bubble sometime, I'm going to add something new to the list of what you can do. What I would say previously, you could go in, low-tack tape, put a layer of the low-tack tape and peel it off. That's going to take any residual material off. Or what I would do is I would go in with my translucent clear ink pad, give it a coating, and then go over. What you can do now, and this is after chatting to Leanne, what works as well is your stamp and cleaning station. So all you're going to do is go in, give it a spritz with the solution, give the stamp a wash, make sure it's dry. You're going to be able to use it straight off the bat. So any of these ways, brand new stamps, but as you can see there, it was absolutely perfect. That is how these are, as always, top quality stamps when it comes to your Academy of Colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the 3 pens that are included. So I'm going to go in with Ivory FS9. I'm going to go in with Apricot TN3, and I'm also going to go in with the Tan, which is TN6. So these are one end. You will see that you've got lighter colour at the opposite end. I do believe I didn't say that at the start. So you do have, for instance, TN5, TN6. So you've got that different shade within each one. And that's because we are When it comes to shows, blending and shading, we tend to see that 3-tone because of your tri-blends. But don't forget, you can simply shade with 2. You know, you don't have to do 3.
Oh yeah, of course.
You can do 4 if you want to, or of course, yes, you can do the 2 of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with TN6. What side with that one? So it's that one. I'm also going to go in with TN5, which was the opposite side, and then I'm going to go in with TN3, which was the apricot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in and I'm going to start with that light. So I'm going to go in with a piece of cardstock underneath. Now you will find, because of the way that you apply them, and this is me telling you this, I find you get very little bleeding through because of the way that you're applying it, because of the make of the pens, very little bleeding. I would still always put cardstock underneath just to catch any that comes through. So I'm going to go in now with my apricot, which is the TN3, and then I'm going to pick a section by section, and then we're going to go in with that flicking technique.
Okay.
So if you've seen any of us go over our Illustrator pens, you're going to be following suit. And I say that as an example. What I would always say, of course, is you're investing your money, so you take that time to learn with Leanne, because she goes right back to the beginning again. So what I'm going to do is within that lighter tone, I'm going to go in and I'm going to flick. What I'm also going to do, Ben, is I'm going to turn it around. If you've got your totally Tiffany rotating board, that's going to be a godsend. It just means you're not having to keep doing that. Not that it's a big issue whatsoever, but it's a helping hand with your rotating board. I'm going to then go in with my next pen. So this is where, technically, that will be 3 colours, 3 shades that I've used. TN3, TN5 and TN6.
Got you.
So I've gone in with that light. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with that mid-tone, and what I'm going to do, Ben, is I'm going to come not quite as high up, but just a little bit higher than I need, and I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to go in, so we're getting a bit less time and time again, and then I'm going to jump to that slightly darker, and once again, a little bit less. I'm going to go in and I'm just going to flick. You will also find that you will start to learn that perfect flicking action. Because even sometimes with me, it's not always natural for me to flick with the pen. It's all there in that education. It is all there. And then if you want to, which I do occasionally, is I'll go back in to that mid and that light, blend it out just that little bit more. And then if I want to, I can then go in and then let's go back in with the TN5. Once again, just go in, enhancing that with the flicks. I'm even going to come down by the side, that shading. Once again, Ben, that is the light source. Now, I can do that now to show you, but you might be thinking, well, Craig, where's your light source coming from? It's all in that education that Leanne goes through. And you can see, you know, I'm saying these things time and time again because that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. So you're just going to keep on going. I'm going to go back in again. I'm going to layer up a couple of the colours that I've just done. You don't have to, of course, but I like to go in and just blend them in that little bit more. So we're going to go in. And although I'm using the 3 pens, don't forget, because you've got some different shades, you can go in, you can, if you want to, add a 4th. You can take all of that learning knowledge you get and then you can run with it if you want.
Absolutely,
you can have a play, you can experiment. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to flick. We're going to keep on going. Add in depth if you want to. I'm going to go back in. Let's go in with the TN3. And then what I'm going to do within this one here is let's start in with the leg again. And because this is alcohol based, whether it is the Academy of Colour or any alcohol base, I would always highly suggest, it's all explained in the Academy of Colour, section by section. So if you are completely new to colouring, and what I mean by that, by alcohol colouring. I don't obviously mean just, with the colouring pens and the inexpensive pens that you've got in the past. Alcohol colouring. There's reasons you want to do section by section about the alcohol, the evaporation, all explained once again. So I'm going to go back in with my saddle brown, which is TN5, TN6. So I'm going to go in actual fact, I'm going to go back, Ben, with that TN3. I'm going to then just go in, and then I'm just going to enhance that a little bit more further down, creating that highlight, which is here. And then what you can do, if you don't want to keep that highlight, you can create your own with that white pigment pen.
Oh, of course you can, yeah.
Again. So you can be doing your own. So even if you purposely or by mistake, cover up your preserving that highlight, do not worry.
So if you were using that pen from the collection, you would then just colour it as a whole and then just add the pen afterwards, would you, to get your highlight?
Absolutely.
It's so good to watch it. Apologies, by the way, for those of you that have just joined in. We're having a bit of a Christmas catwalk competition, hence why I'm wearing this. It's so good to watch it, and honestly, if you're just enjoying this little tidbit that you're seeing now of Craig, just showing you how to use the pens from this collection, wait until you see all of the information that you'll get with the content from Leanne. There's something like, is that 18 hours worth of content, something like that?
It's something
probably
like
more
that.
than that now, I think,
it's
isn't it?
Something like that,
There's
yeah.
so much to learn.
There really is. There really, really is. And they're not necessarily set times.
No.
Because, and what I mean by that, they're not just like 20 minutes. Do you know what I mean? You've got Leanne for a good considerable amount of time. And Leanne will end the classes when she feels that's that natural end. So if she's got a few more things to show you, to teach you, for you to learn to, she'll keep going that little bit longer. I've never, simply because of work commitments, I've never seen Leanne's education videos live. And for me, that benefits me because, yes, you can watch live, but then by watching back, you've got that pause option as well. So you can then pause, you can go at Leanne's speed, you can go slower if you want to as well. You can have a recap. Of course, live, you can then be interacting with her. So there is that best of both worlds. But don't worry about, Mr. Live, or I can't see her live. There is benefits to watching back as well.
Absolutely.
But all that I would keep on going. Now, obviously, I'm purposely just cutting that short because
so good.
As we both, me and you, actually talked about yesterday when I was asked to do this, I kind of fought with myself, didn't I? I was kind of like, do I go demo heavy, or do I give you my take, which I've been so fortunate to present many of the Academy of Colour shows on Crafters TV with Leanne. Do I give my take or do I demo? And I'm glad that I'm spending that time because there's many of you that are actually investing in this show alone. You're not going to regret it. It's all there for you to learn from. Whether you are a beginner, whether you want to enhance your watercolour alcohol colouring, it's all there. Leanne's there as well on that Facebook group for you to then get feedback, help, tips, whatever you need.
I tell you what, we've got up to 40% off across the range. You have got top level professional quality implements within the actual collections themselves, and then you've got all of that tutorial expert tuition from Leanne, and really there is no one better. And I think, do you know what always makes me think about this as well? When you hear the likes of our guys, experienced people like Craig, and then like Sarah and Michelle, and all of our guys who are still like learning themselves and are still learning from Leanne on these actual tutorials. So if you're thinking to yourself like, how good is the tutorial that I'm going to get from Leanne? Like, our experts are still picking up hints and tips and relearning. So do you know what? It's top level information and demonstration that you're going to get from Leanne. And the brilliant thing is, again, like Craig says, it's not like a live show where you feel you've got to keep up, and then if you get lost, you're like, I've got behind now. You've got it there for whenever you want it, and if there's a particular bit that you don't quite understand, you can rewind, start again. And if there's a particular bit that you want to watch again because you didn't quite get it the first time, rewatch, start again. You've got all of that information there for you. for whenever you want to do it, for whenever you want to have a play, whenever you want to take that next step on your journey. Lots of people today chatting about the fact that this price is amazing for the actual kit. 124 pieces in the original Academy of Colour, with all of those markers, with all of the card, with the stamps, with the tools in there, with your binder of course too. But then on top of that, you need to mention the fact that there is just hours upon hours upon hours of tutorials, information, lessons with Leanne, which is going to help you to become the colourist you always wanted to be. It's taking those steps on that journey to show you that it's achievable for everybody. Wolf Dark Eyes Moonwater says, I'm a bit behind on my crafting projects. I'm blaming Crafter's Companion. So many things to play with. Eleanor says, I love to colour, especially with the alcohol pens. I do get lost in it when I do it. And Carol Guy saying, I've got the Academy of Colour for my special needs son for Christmas. He loves colouring and I think it will be a hit. No doubt it will be an absolute hit. And the other thing as well, you look at like how these boxes are presented, they're perfect, aren't they? Just to add a bit of wrapping paper to under the tree and they look the absolute business. You know, and the quality of the product that you're going to get in there as well is fantastic. Lots of love coming in as well for our outfits. Eye-popping jumpers, says Pamela. Astrid says, anyone seen Ben? I can only see a bundle of bright wrapping paper. And oh heck, says Pamela, I now need sunglasses to watch. Karen says, I happen to have my eyes off the screen whilst Craig showed his t-shirt. Can we see it again? We'll get him to show it to you a little bit later on. And whilst we get ready to see more with Craig, let me show you another one of these fantastic deals that we've got. A paper pad deal. Now, this is a cartload deal for you, which brings to you 2 of the Christmas Gnome paper pads. Is that right? 2? And the 8x8 everyday scenes. Oh, blimey. Buy 2, get 1 free. How much love is there for this nose pad? We absolutely adore it. In the back, you've got those 6x6 scenes. So you can literally just snip into those, create little scenes for your gnomes. And anything else as well, if you've got any more of those like cute character stamps, you can create the scenes for those. They look the absolute business. Then you're also going to get all of these double-sided papers. And of course, these are a little bit gnomified, but actually, if you're just wanting fun, bright papers to be working with for your spring and for your summertime makes, then this is an absolute beauty of a pad to go for. That you're getting twice over within the collection, and then alongside that, your everyday scenes. 8x8 is this, but look at all of the different colours and patterns that you're going to find in here. I think I've only seen this pad actually a couple of times before, but loads of beautiful colours. You've got sort of blues and greens and purples, and you've got rainbows in there, you've got your spots and dots, you've got your ginghams, you've got your watercolour effect backgrounds in there. There's tons for all occasions, and that is why I suppose this one is called, oh I love that, is called your everyday scene set. So you get 1 of those, 2 of the gnome pads for £23.98 or $31.92. Another one of those cartload deals which is proving super duper popular this afternoon. Big cartload show coming your way as well. Don't forget tonight, Leanne herself will be here 6 o'clock tonight for a 3-hour extravaganza with Craig. It's going to be amazing. 1 o'clock Eastern. Loads of great deals, including mystery bags, buy one get ones, and a whole host more. Now, more Academy of Colours for you. So we started off with the original Academy of Colour. That's flying. There's currently 3 more boxes that you can get your hands on. Now, the Flora and Fauna was actually the the second box that we launched after the original Academy of Colour. What I will say to you is they were obviously released in order. Original Academy of Colour, then the portraits, then the Flora and Fauna, then the Fur and Feathers, or Feathers and Fur. You don't have to buy them in order. You don't have to use them in order. You don't have to buy them all. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it. Obviously, we would encourage you to get the full collection, to get the Academy of Colour, and then to get the bolt-ons. But particularly, if it is things like your Flora and Fauna that you struggle to colour and you just want to get that, then absolutely you can just jump in and buy this box on its own. Once again in here, you're going to get a selection. You're going to get a selection of pens in here, your duo colours, your duo colour aquas. Again, you're going to get a selection of beautiful stamps in here. You'll see these with Craig in just a few moments' time. 12 sheets of your alcohol marker card. 12 sheets of your watercolour card, and you'll also get a storage panel in there as well to put your stamps on. So that, of course, will clip nicely into your folder if you've bought the original Academy of Colour. If you didn't buy that, then of course you can buy yourself your own folder to pop that one into. Yeah, and Susie's just popped up actually, just saying another benefit of the Academy of Colour. Yeah, all of Leanne's notes and examples that she does on each show gets posted on the website as well, so you can see exactly which colours and tools she's used, for example, in the video. So yeah, I mean, everything is there for you. Literally everything is there that you need. Lorna says, I love to see the competitiveness on this show between Ben and Craig. I mean, there isn't much in the way of competitiveness really. I pretty much won, haven't I? Because I've got the jumper and jacket combo, and you've only got the... What the...
I'm winning.
So you've got the jacket jumper t-shirt combo.
I've got it all.
He's got it.
I've got it all.
Looks a bit big on you, that
no,
that
it's
jacket.
fine.
Is it?
It's fine.
Looks like
It's
it might
all
be
right.
someone else's jacket that you've nicked from the...
Not at all.
Can you just very quickly, for the sake of... Who was it you said? Karen wants to see your t-shirt again.
Oh, the t-shirt again.
Love it.
Try to watch my microphone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You filthy animal.
From Home Alone.
And a Happy New Year. Brilliant, mate.
There you go.
That's it. This is
All
like...
layered up. Christmas stuff.
It's a bit like this... what did you say? The episode from Friends,
Friends,
isn't it?
when
he puts on all
Joey keeps wearing
Yeah.
Chandler's clothes.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
Craig Laird becomes Craig Laird. Katie says, OMG, Craig, you've just taken it to another level. Hasn't he?
Haven't adjust.
Hasn't he? Shall we have a look at this flora and fauna collection?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
No holds barred when it comes to Christmas. So what you've got is, when it comes to, of course, your flora and fauna here. Now, as I was saying at the start, if you wanted to, if there was, something that completely attracted you to just this one alone, then you could start with this, and you can start to learn what Leanne will teach you within that educational video of the flora and fauna. However, she will, and I'm going to show you in a demonstration in a moment, you'll start to dip into what you've got from that original. That original is absolutely key, in my opinion. Not just my opinion, it is absolutely key, because you're going to take these nuggets and learn from, and also the tools that you're going to use. Also, what you're going to find, they all sit nicely together. So, George, if you don't mind, if you could come on face on, just so that you can see how well they look. And we will go over the other ones, Ben, before the end of the show.
Is anyone else thinking Star Wars as well? With your colouring journey starts here, your colouring journey continues. It's like the start of Star Wars with the message that rolls.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I see what you mean, yeah. And what these look like, if you're thinking about where you're going to keep them, where you're going to store them, of course, as many of you know, I've got the Kallax units from the Swedish store. I had to get some more the other week, and these sit nicely in there. It kind of shows them off. I know not everyone's fortunate to have those, but wherever you pop them, if your craft room is your dining table, your living room, even if they have them at the side, that little bit of luxuriousness that's sitting at the side, many will probably think that they're expensive chocolates, and you'll be like, no, it's much better than that.
Absolutely.
So let's dive into this one here. Completely different to what you've got within your original box and your additional add-ons. So new colours that are going to complement your first one. And you've got within this one here, you've got your 6 that are alcohol, and you've got 3 that are your aqua pens, of course, double-ended. So you've got your pens all together. Then I've taken the wrong one, haven't I? That is the portraits, isn't it?
That is the portraits.
That is the portraits. Let's get the flora and fauna. What did I say to you just before the show as well, Ben?
I know, you got them in order, didn't you, and everything?
I went over them again to make sure I was correct with Ben, and I've gone and put them in the wrong order. There we go.
That's right.
That's it this time. So we have got our Academy of Colour once again. So it's still on that 6 alcohol pen, dual nib that we can see, as well as your aqua pens. So then what we can do is, if we open this one up, the classes that Leanne teaches with the flora and fauna, a lot of them are going to be using, of course, these stamp sets. However, as I say, we'll be dipping in and out of other techniques using some of the other stamps. Within each one of your stamp sets, you're getting another sheet that you can pop into your binder. That's going to sit nicely into the binder. Look at that index to see where to pop it. All that you're going to do, Ben, take that back sheet off. Use it for this one, I would say, use it for shakers or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then stick your stamp onto that one. It's a cling back in, sits into your folder, you're absolutely good to go. And then you've also got, as you were saying at the start, more of your watercolour card, alcohol cardstock as well. And within each box, you do get a brand new card, which all that you need to do is just scan that QR code on the back, and that will take you to the relevant class that you're wanting to learn from. So that is all in your flora and fauna. So let's just very quickly as well, let's show them in the board form that we can see here. Great seeing them in the box, but I think it's also worthwhile seeing them in that board form. So as you say, you do get your 12 of them. Please do have a look on the website. If you're going for this, do think about stocking up on more of your Nina cardstock or your watercolour card. You will find it says alcohol marker card, Nina cardstock. That's what you're going to be looking for on the website. Watercolour card, then the stamps for these classes here. We are actually going to have a look at this spray one just shortly. You've got your pens, dual tip that we can see here, 6 alcohol based, 3 that are your water base, and then once again a little chart that you can see here how they look once they're actually coloured out. Going over what I said earlier, what Susie said as well, professional charts like this, scribbled notes from Leanne, they are all included there. They're photographed, literally taken the phone, photographed, uploaded as they are, all natural for you to then follow, replicate if you want. But we'll have a look at this one in a little bit more detail in a moment.
Lots of love for this show coming through. We're having a bit of fun, but you guys are getting the education as well, which is what we love. That's what we are all about. They stack nicely in the Calyx unit as well, says Rhonda Crowley, so that's great. And lots of you, again, just saying how much you love the collections. I colour the gnomes in Christmas colours. They're versatile, says Emma Ryan on Facebook. Fred says the set now looks like the Grinch threw up. And Zoe says, is this going to be a passing out competition? How many layers will it take? As I said to Susie on the socials, no matter how hot I get now, I am not derobing.
And I'm getting hot.
Yeah, we're stubborn. We're stubborn. Love the t-shirt, Craig, says Karen. And wow, your hottie Scotty, says Shadiah. Sylph says you need Christmas slippers, earrings and baubles in your beard. That's him, obviously.
He's getting very hotty.
Feel free to take it off if you want, mate. It's fine.
No, you're okay.
You okay?
If you're not, I'm not.
Very, very busy for the Academy of Colours. Remember, you're getting amazing prices here. You're getting up to 40% off across the range. The Flora and Fauna proving super popular as well. Another one of the items, this is going to go, I'm not being funny, I'm going to, 55% of the stock of Leanne's mystery bag is gone. It doesn't officially launch until the Cartload show at 6 tonight. We thought we'd give it a little bit of a sneaky peek, and now it is absolutely flying. Another 30% of the stock has gone since we actually launched this morning on the wake-up call. A lot of you have bought it even without knowing what was in the bag, which justifies again just how great our mystery bags are, particularly when the likes of Leanne puts their name to the actual bag itself. So I wanted to show you this first of all. Now if you do buy more than one, you will get duplicates. However, the value is amazing. This is the 8-inch album spine. That is the value of the bag right there. £24 or $32. You've got your value and more with that particular die itself. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, the possibilities endless with this. Whatever you're designing this for, choose your page styles. Decorate it as you want. Whether you're using this for little books or albums. Maybe you're thinking about making a Christmas album, photographs. I mean, it's entirely up to you. Journals as well, if you'd love to be able to do that. That is the value of the bag right there. Then what you're also going to get, the value is insane really, 6x6 paper pad from the Country Lane collection. possibly the most popular collection of the year so far. You're going to get some gilding flakes. This comes from the vintage butterfly set. That's the set which gives you the tool, which gives you the gilding flakes and the glue to be able to apply those with as well. On top of that, you're getting 2 ink pads within this set. The metallic pigment ink pads in the blush, and also you're going to get one of our opaque ink pads in the Damson wine. And then look at all of these other goodies you're going to get too. Cut and emboss folder, the slimline cut and emboss folder, the interlocking circles there, absolutely amazing. If you love doing your shaker cards, that is a brilliant one to have. You've then got some fun with our dies which cut out the spiral effect inside. This one's the honeycomb, so you've got your spiral pop-out die there. From the Angel collection, which is literally, at most, this is like 2 months old.
I can't believe that, Ben.
It wasn't even that long ago, was it? We launched that.
No, not at all.
That's the Ethereal Angel, so you get 7 stamps and dies within that set. And then lastly, always super useful, some of our nesting dies. We've got the inverted stitched zigzag oval nesting dies in there as well. I mean, that bundle is incredible for that price. 24 quid, $32 if you're platinum. And as I said, the value for money, more than the value of the bag, is in that album spine, which you get included as well. We'll give you time to check out your baskets very, very soon indeed, but we're going to have a quick look over with Craig now at the Flora and Fauna collection. Lynette's just saying, I love you guys together. Thank you. It's the first time I feel like we've worked together in a little while, actually.
It does feel like it, doesn't it? It really does.
You guys are hilarious, says Eleanor, and that's why we love you. And Zoe says, so who has Christmas underwear and socks? All right. Not today. No. You get to vote at the end of the show on your favourite outfit, but for now, let's see some more from the Academy of Colour. Flora and Fauna.
Yes.
You're very faunery over there.
Yeah.
Florery or faunery, or both?
Yeah, florery, yeah, it's faunery.
Florery.
Yeah.
You're florery.
Yeah. But this is another good one. I know we always say things like, we shouldn't have favourites. I think this is maybe going to be my favourite one. I love colouring in florals.
Yeah.
You do get within this one here, you get that postcard where there's an incredible demo that Leanne will teach you. You've got the bumblebee, you've got the birds as well. We're going to have a look at that spray. So before we do a little bit of stamping and colouring, very quickly let's show you what to expect when it comes to this box here. So we have got our alcohol, and of course we've got our water base as well.
Yeah.
So this is showing you the stamps and how they would look if you colour them in these ways. You can mix and match if you want. But then what you're going to be learning when it comes to this collection, you've got your watercolouring, and then you've got that step by step as to where you're starting, where you're progressing on to, then the next step you're going to go on to, and this is all the stuff as well as the other boards that are photographed and on there for you to then screenshot, or of course if you want to print out. Steps you all the way through what you're going to need, how you're going to use it, as well as each additional step. We can see within this one here, that is your aqua pen, that translucent colouring, that's wet onto wet. This one here, this is in a basic form of stamping within a water-based ink pad and then colouring. This one is wet onto wet, and then once again it is going into creating that shading, creating that glass effect, that jar effect, steps you through the jar, the poppy, the shadow, all there for you. And then also within this one, it teaches you that you can see here your white embossing and doing that wet into wet colour, letting that seep out, but stages by stages by stages. And remember, in between all these photographs that you're going to be able to see, you're going to be able to screenshot, you've got, so to speak, Ben, the sections in between these steps, that's where you've got Leanne. That's where you've got Leanne that's infilling all these different bits, put a little bit of colour here, why you're going to put it there. These boards shows you the 3 main steps, and then you've got Leanne that will teach you everything else that you're going to need to know. That one being with your water base. Once again, you're going to be doing alcohol pen. This is palette blending. You're going to be learning left side, right side, up, down, aqua pens that you can see creating your custom colour here. So I actually think that should have been my last one there with the water base. But I mean, look at that. Imagine you being able to do that.
That's incredible.
With the tools that you've got.
It almost looks real,
doesn't it? It really, really does. Thought exactly the same when I done the show with Leanne herself. It's giving you explanation on each one. It's telling you the yellow bands you're going to be using, the colours as well as the black, what you're going to be doing when it comes to the wings, all there for you, step by step. This one is a fab one. I've never actually, in all the years of my crafting, I've never done this, and I cannot wait to try it. This one here, this is stamping with a very, very, very light ink pad. So then that actually gives you that au natural waterwork that's looked, or alcohol colouring, because you can't actually see the outlines. It's giving you a very, very faint outline. We can just see it and know more where my finger is. But once again, it's all explained there for you. And then going back to the poppies, once again, alcohol colouring with the spray. And then look at that, that one being the grey underline, which is what we're away to do just in a moment.
Oh, nice.
But then as we can see here, that postcard, these are the sort of things you're going to be learning.
These are incredible.
With Leanne. Isn't that fab?
Yeah.
Absolutely fab. So let's take all that to the side here. So let's go in, once again, stamping platform. I'm going to use Noir Black alcohol proof, use Flagstone, use Pebble, use whichever ones you want out of the 4 that we've got. And I'm going to go in with some of our Nina again. This is from our cardstock bundle, our Nina cardstock. Of course, you can be using either your Nina or the cardstock that you've got included. So let's go in with our stamp set here.
We do have Nina on the show, I want to say, as well. I'll show it in the shop today on a 3 for 2. And of course, you can pick up more watercolour cardstock as well if you want to do that. But, you know, like we've already demonstrated, you do get a plentiful supply of both of those within all of the Academy of Colours. But, you know, it's always nice to stock up for when you do run out, isn't it?
Exactly. It really, really is. And from the size of the stamps, they're all really, really sizable. However, and I know I'm just completely contradicting myself when I'm away to say what I'm away to say, even the cardstock you get included, you won't need it all. You'll maybe only need half of it. Please ignore the fact I'm using near enough a full sheet because I've just grabbed a sheet from the side. But you literally are only going to be using a little section of either your A4 Nina or maybe just half the sheets that you've got from the Academy of Colour boxes and add-ons. So even them, the 12 sheets, in some ways, I'm going to say for me, they would last 24 sheets. Because a lot of them I would just cut in half. That's up to you. But yeah, always worthwhile checking out our Nina alcohol colour bundle on the website and stocking up.
Just a quick question from Betty as well. He says, what impact does Craig use for stamping when he uses watercolour? I'm not sure I have that one. Right,
okay, doc. So I kind of use two same colours for both alcohol and watercolour. So what I will tend to use is for alcohol and of course watercolour, I'll use Noir Black.
Okay.
And I will also use Flagstone as well. So I was just seeing if I had a Flagstone here, which we don't, but this is the 4 that I tend to use the most, Ben. So alcohol colouring, I'll either use Noir Black or Flagstone. Flagstone is a little bit more subtler, gives you still a strong line, but just a little bit more subtler than your Noir Black, and exactly the same colours when it comes to the waterproof ink pad. Flagstone, Noir Black. If I'm doing something nature themed, I will maybe tend to go in with Rustic Brown or Pebble. That's very rare. I will tend to use Noir Black or Flagstone.
Yes, gotcha.
Personal preference. Hopefully that helps. So we're going to go in now with what we've just stamped out. So I'm going to go in with some of the colours, going to go in with the greys that come from that original box so you can see how it all ties in together. On one of the greys, you've actually got a blender as well. So sometimes you'll think, I don't know where to use a blender. There's going to be ways, there's techniques into which you would use a blender. Maybe you go out the line slightly, use a blender to push it back in. There's always a purpose for every tool within all of these boxes. So what I'm going to do within this one here is I'm going to go in and I'm going to start with my IG5. So this is only the one grey I'm going to use. The other one I'm going to go with my Poppy and my Ruby, which is from the original box. And I'm just going to go in with a little section here. So let's go in, I'll just go straight in with this one. I'm going to go in with, in actual fact, I'm going to start that one again because I want to go in with my light red first. So let's go in, let's start on this section here. So what I'm going to do for me is I am going to lay down that light. So laying it down, we can see here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm now going to go in with the IG5. And I'm going to go in, we can go, I've got a funny feeling I was right the first time. Do you know what it is, Ben? I'm trying to think back to when I done the class with Leanne. And that's a good point, actually, because I can go back and re-watch again.
Refresh your memory, yeah.
So I am. Scrap what I've just said there. Let's go in. I'm going to go in with that grey. So laying down that grey. Let's go in.
Just say hi to Celia, who says, I bought the Academy of Colour #1. Used my voucher code. Awesome deal. I also added the 3D embossing folders and dies. I have been buying crazy since birthday event, and at this point, I hope I will stop buying. I bet you don't. But the other good point that you've just made there as well, Celia, if you're buying a few of these, or indeed if you're just buying the new Academy of Colour on its own, and as much as we've given you huge discounts, you can still use the vouchers that you got on birthday as well. With the originally Academy of Colour, you're over that 50 threshold, aren't you? Even if you're platinum, so you can use your £10 $10 voucher to get an extra £10 $10 off. And, you know, if you want to go even further, maybe you want to pop more than one of these. It's a great opportunity to do it. Get the original Academy of Colour, maybe throw in the portraits or, you know, this Flora and Fauna one here. Then you can use your 20 voucher because you spent over the 100 threshold. So if you do have those lying around that you got from birthday, use them here to make the bundles even more great value for money. That's a really good point you brought up there,
isn't
Celia.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really is.
Use. I think a lot of people are doing it. Producer Jamie telling me we are very, very busy on this Colour Me Happy show. Pauline just saying, I love the jackets, guys. Smoffy says, I think whoever dares to retrieve and wear the Santa hat from the Crafters sign gets an advantage. That's more than our job's worth.
Yeah.
Nah.
Craig touches nothing on the set other than what we use. I'm not touching anything.
No, me either. You know, I'm up for having a bit of a muck about with the next person, but I'm not touching that hat. No.
Not at all.
Gillian says, Craig, your jacket and the way it fits reminds me of my school blazer I bought when I was 11, and due to sizing, still fitted me at 16.
It does remind me of that, doesn't it? Yeah.
I've done that to my kids as well, though. I've done that to my kids. It's like the blazers are 45 quid. So you're like, right, here you go, Daisy, 11, have this blazer for a 16-year-old. It's too big. You'll grow into it. Just roll up the sleeves.
Reuse it, I know. Yeah, it's like that, isn't it? Right down.
Oh, dear.
It is actually like that, isn't it? Jamie's saying
big, yeah.
The end of Big, that's exactly what it's like.
That's such a good movie.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, I've not seen that in years.
It's
to get that one
so
out.
good.
Yeah.
It is so funny, isn't it? So well done.
Yeah.
Although, even although he was so young, Tom Hanks cannot do a bad movie.
Do you know what? That is so very true, isn't it? Like, we went through a phase of watching a lot of Tom Hanks movies. We watched, like, what's the one when he plays the pilot who lands the plane on the Hudson?
Oh, Scully.
Scully. So we watched that, watched Castaway, watched Captain Phillips.
Oh, yeah.
And then you start like going through, because I'm a bit of a geek with movies, so I always go on IMDb and check the ratings. It's very hard to find a Tom Hanks film which is rated sort of lower than about 7 out of 10, which you know you're going to get a good movie with Tom Hanks, don't you?
You really do.
Pretty much. Even the old, the one with, he's not in any voices, Polar Express. Mm-hmm. Oh, you got Toy Story, of course, as well.
Toy Story. And it's, you'll see in interviews or anything like that, every single person that says that they've met Tom Hanks or that have always said he is the nicest guy. A bit like they'll say the same for Top Gun.
Oh, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise,
yeah. You know, if he's doing... I remember when I was watching this morning, a morning show here in the UK, they were talking about him last week, and when it was, of course, the Jubilee, they had all the big news booths all set up from all over the world, and he went into every one and just said hello to everyone.
That's class, isn't it?
And it just reminded me of Tom Hanks. Everyone, celebrities or interviewees, always say he's the nicest guy and does the incredible films. It really does.
I tell you, what was one of the, and it was on BBC Two a while back now, and it was just on. It was Tom Hanks. I thought, I'll watch that. I never really heard much of it. It was Saving Mr. Banks.
Oh my God, it's
What
brilliant.
a movie that is! It just came on. I thought, I've not heard of this. Tom Hanks will be worth a watch. Unbelievable. It's about P.L. Travers, isn't it?
Yeah, Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins, and he plays Walt Disney, and he's trying to basically get her to allow him to make the movie of her book. And it's got Emma Thompson in it, and it's so good.
Between the two of them together.
It's epic. It's a great movie.
It is.
Really,
It
really
really
good.
is.
So yeah, if you like Tom Hanks, you haven't seen that, have a watch. It's great. Really good.
So I could keep on going and going and going. So this is where I could have, and I did start to preserve my own highlight, but what we mean by doing it yourself just means is either creating that little nugget of white highlight, or if you do go completely over, remember this is where you have got your, if I go back to our pigment, white ink pad, ink pen, sorry. You've got that one there within the box that you are then able to then create your own little highlight that you've got. What I would say as well within this show as well, if you have already watched Leanne, you think, oh my gosh, Craig's done it slightly different than Leanne. Absolutely do it Leanne's way. I'm trying to think, last night I was taking notes to myself, watching little clips and that. So showing you the way that I'm trying to remember. But the main thing is it's all about that education journey, that it's there. Back to the beginning, dotting in whenever you want, using it all combined within each box. You learn things from different boxes there for you to have.
Absolutely right, and you know, if you've enjoyed this show, if you've enjoyed just seeing, you know, the little hints and tips that Craig's brought you over the last hour and a half, you will absolutely love all of the education that you're going to get from Leanne. And it is really, you know, money can't buy tutorials. And again, I'll message or mention what Celia said. Use your vouchers that you got on birthday. You know, particularly if you are stacking a few of these up. Maybe you bought the original Academy of Colour, and they're thinking, oh yeah, I'll get the flora and fauna, I'll get the feathers and fur. Maybe I'll pop the portraits in. As your basket total stacks up, if you've got any of those vouchers from birthday, if it's over a 50 spend, you can use the 10. If it's over 100 spend, of course, you can use that 20 voucher as well. So it's a great way today with up to 40% off across the range. Add on the fact that you've got those vouchers that you can use as well. Brilliant, brilliant day to start your journey on the Academy of Colour, or to continue it, or as I said, just dive in, because that's the great thing again about this Academy of Colour. You can buy them all together. Of course, they're going to work brilliantly as a team, but you know, you can buy the bolt-ons separately. Maybe it's portrait colouring that you find quite difficult. Getting that skin tone right, we'll just jump in and buy that one. You know, you don't have to buy the full collection. We obviously recommend that you do, because we want you to become the best colourist that you can possibly be, but pick and choose, see what's most relevant for you. And I can almost guarantee that if you do just decide to go for one, you'll come back and buy the others, because they are quite simply brilliant products, and then with all of that tutorial that goes with it as well. That's the flora and fauna. Again, Craig's already showed you exactly what you're going to get in there, but all of those pens, the duo alcohol colouring pens in there, the aqua pens in there too, plus all of those stamps. The 12 sheets of your alcohol marker card and your watercolour card, and of course that stamp storage panel too, which you can add to your folder if you bought the original Academy of Colour. Just £25.20 today, or $34 if you are a Platinum member. Let's have a quick look at the Spectrum Noir mystery bag. Of course, these are coming up for you later on. These are officially launched in about 2.5 hours time. Stocks are dwindling. The Leanne bag's flying. The Spectrum Noir mystery bag not too far behind. We do have more stock of this. But again, if you're thinking, okay, well, I'm going to get the Academy of Colours to kind of, you know, get me started. You know, after I've sort of progressed with these, I'll need some other bits and pieces to be playing with. This is a great bag to go for, because Leanne's popped together a little bit of everything, really. I'll pop out these two first of all, because that's basically more than the value of your bag right there. You're going to get the 12 aqua markers in your primary colours. So these, again, great for doing your watercolour techniques with dual-ended pens once again here. So you get that precision nib, if you like, one end, and you've got that beautiful Japanese brush nib the other. end of the pen. And again, you know, you've got all of those fantastic primary colours to be working with, to mix, to do all your watercolour techniques with. We're also going to give you a set of tri-blend pens as well. So those are your alcohol pens, 6 pens, but 18 hues, if you like, because you get the light, the medium, and the dark in each of the 6 pens that you've got within that set. So you've got a bit of watercolouring, you've got a little bit of your a bit of your alcohol colouring as well. We then add into the deal the illustrators. So you've got these in the delicate, more of your sort of portrait colours. Your illustrators again combine that fine nib one end with your Japanese brush nib the other end. So great again for focusing and practicing on with your flicking techniques, which you'll learn more about within the Academy of Colour. You're then going to get some of our sparkle pens. I mean, these are just absolutely brilliant. You've got the pastels, the soft pastels, so you get your rose quartz, soft jade, and then also your moonstone in there. Just brilliant again for adding a splash of colour. Water-based, of course, as well, so you can do a lot of your water techniques with those. Create your own sparkly backgrounds, particularly brilliant as we head in towards Christmas time. And we also throw into this bag your vintage pen, vintage pink I should say, in your classic pens. So again, these slightly different alcohol markers, you've got your finer nib one end, and then you've got that sort of wedge nib the other end. Great for bigger sort of bolder strokes of colour are your classics. So that's all included. And if you're thinking that's amazing value for money, not done, because you're going to get your heat resistant non-slip matte included as well. Perfect for crafting on the go. And if you don't have, you know, a specific craft space, that's awesome. Going to get 4 of the spray misters, always handy to have for doing all of your watercolour techniques and your spritzing techniques again, which you'll learn about in the Academy of Colour. We're also going to give you your art liners, 6 of those in varying sizes of nib. So you go right down to your 0.05 nib, up to your brush nib. Perfect for doodling, perfect for, you know, creating your own little faux stitching and borders and frames. Great if you love your Zentangle as well. Those are perfect. And one final item you're going to get in this bag is your metallic pigment ink pad in the rose gold. That is a great bundle for 32 quid, $40. I just think you should definitely jump in and grab that, particularly if you are new to colouring and you want a little bit of everything. Also, I just see these mystery bags, you know, like the Leanne mystery bag as well. The fact that you're picking up so much product for not much money, you can kind of like take care of a lot of Christmas gifts for everybody as well. I cannot believe it, I've only got 20 minutes left, but I want to give you opportunity to check out your baskets. I also want to give you opportunity to get any more questions in, and I also want to go and see if I can find any more Christmas clothing, because I'm not having him beating me at the end of the show, the vote of the show, who I think it's now become who's the most Christmassy, isn't it? Let's be honest. Head to the checkouts. We'll come back for the final 20 minutes in just a few moments' time. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
The one that was really funny, Ben. You did.
It was better than your I'm a gnome and I live in a caravan.
I am a gnome and I live in a caravan.
Can we clip that? Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us, you give us a community to talk, you know, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
Hello, I'm Corinne Robinson, and I am having an absolutely fantastic time up here working for Crafters Companion. So my crafting journey began back in, I have to get this the right way around, in 2001. I went to a craft workshop just at a craft store, and I was absolutely hooked. My mum convinced me to go because she wanted to go, and I've not looked back since 2001, and I'm still going now.
My crafty inspirations are, I have to be inspired by my grandmother. She was an amazing sewer and I just love to take inspiration from her. I can't sew, but I am blown away by what she used to do. But I just am inspired by all my colleagues around me, the other experts. I've just done a show today where we have third parties in, and I just love watching them and take little bits from them and then put my own twist on it. What's it like having crafty colleagues? It's fantastic. We are an amazing team. The support from Crafters Companion is brilliant. I have loved it. As you know, I've not been here overly long, but the team have opened their arms and welcomed me so fantastically. And I love watching the shows because a lot of the tips and techniques that you'll see me do in my shows, I picked up from my colleagues by watching their shows. What non-craft facts can I share with you? I have my pride and joy at the moment is my gorgeous little Cavapoo dog. I absolutely love her. Miss her like mad when I come up here. Elsie's at home with my husband. What is my biggest crafting success? Oh, I just think it was the day I was able to give up a 9-to-5 job and be able to come and be a craft demonstrator full time. And then the excitement when I came to join this team was amazing. I just think that has to be up there at the top for me.
I did say I was going to Christmassy fire right up. We'll get the vote going in just a second to see who you think has been most Christmassy in this show. Jumper, waistcoat, jackets, hat. I mean, I'm going to have to derobe in just a second because I tell you what, this is warm. But I'll be number one if you want to vote one. I mean, you can't beat that, really, can you? I mean, you can't beat that.
How can I beat that?
Yeah, how can you beat that?
There's no...
What the? He's got the full suit on. He's got the full. Your trousers are falling out. All right.
I'm number 2.
Right. I'm going to take my jacket
let's take it off because it's
so 1
too
for
warm.
me, 2 for Craig. That will be your vote for the end of the show. Oh.
And I need to keep these on because I've put my shoes on and tied my lace, so...
Do you need a little safety pin or something? Oh, that is brilliant.
I need
what
a branch to keep them up.
Huh?
I need a branch to keep them up, just to turn the edges. See, they're gone.
Right. I don't think I've ever done a show which has been so educational but at the same time so random. Lackett says, hi everyone, what's in from work? It's been a busy day, so I'm just getting a chance to chime in. I'm loving all of the Academy of Colour, stalking the post for my orders to arrive. There we go, the fashion police are coming. Shall we have a look at one of the other boxes that we've got in this collection? This is your feathers and fur. Once again in this collection, you're getting an absolute ton of goodies within this. So. This is your box here, so you're getting a selection again of our duo colours, 6 of the alcohol markers in here, dual-ended. You're getting 3 of those duo colour aquas as well, and then the stamps in here. I'll let Craig show you exactly what you're going to get, but the stamped images that you get in this collection are just amazing. Loads of wildlife in this collection, and you're just going to have the most fun working with this. You get your stamp storage panel included with this as well, and actually out of all of them, you are going to be finding that this is actually the most limited. We haven't got a huge amount of stocks of the feathers and fur, so jump in and grab it. This is the most recent one that we've launched ahead of a new launch which potentially we've got coming up next month, as we were teasing with Lily earlier on. And do grab it at this price, don't miss out. £27.19. $35.96. Shall we have a look at what we're getting in here?
Let's do it. I think a lot of you will be dipping into your Academy of Colour. You know that horrible week in between Christmas and New Year? You don't know what day it is, you don't know what time it is, you don't know what you're going to be doing, who you are, if you've showered, if you've not showered. You just don't know. This is one where you're going to be able to sit, whether you're going to go right back to the beginning, maybe you've started that educational journey and then you're going to really focus on maybe one of these boxes, could be this one, but let's go in, dive straight in to show you. More pens that you're going to be able to use following on from that education. 6 of your alcohol duo pens, and then 3 that is, of course, your aqua pens. As Ben was saying, you've got your stamps and you've got your feathers and fur. What do you call it?
What?
Totally gone right out of my head.
Oh, the stamp panel.
Panel, that's it. And that, so remember, within each of them, you're going to get a panel from each box that all fit nicely into your binder from your original one.
Yes.
So within this one here, you've got the rabbit or the hare, you've got the fox, you've got the light. I mean, aren't they just incredible?
Unbelievable.
Absolutely
the lion's
incredible.
Amazing though, isn't it?
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you'll see, you know, what you can and will be learning just in a wee moment. So you've got your stamps, and then once again, you've got a top up of your watercolour card as well as your marker card. So that's all included. So let's show you what you're going to be learning when it comes to these. Right, let's have a look at finished coloured images to start with, and we will, just before we end the show, we will manage to do a little bit of colouring, just to show you. But here we go. So this is your alcohol colouring that you're going to be able to do. So all of these, remember, these are the stamp sets that you're going to be able to use that are in with that fur, feathers and fur. I mean, look, isn't he absolutely exquisite?
Just the artwork's amazing, and then like you say, the colouring you can do.
And that's it. And okay, we are, what would that be? Third box in, third add-on box, but you're going to have learned many different techniques. As you said, Ben, if you were to just go for this one, you're going to learn how you can colour with these stamps.
Absolutely, yeah.
Techniques and that. But this is about all the additional elements that you can then start to incorporate, like I'll show you in a moment, with these, that you'll learn from some of the other ones. You may learn some from portraits that transition into your feathers and fur. If we look at our watercolouring that you can see here.
Incredible.
That blending, that shading, whether it's pulling out of colour. Look, water-based colouring, absolutely gorgeous. You can see within that one pulling out colour.
Yeah.
This one we will briefly do before we end the show, that is with your embossing. And then we can see here again, look at these ones. But with your watercolouring, you can get so many different shades, blends, because of course you can then go bright, you can go lighter, you can go deeper. Let's have a look at these ones here. So when it comes to your alcohol colouring with your flamingo, this is what you're going to be learning, step by step by step. And then Leanne's going to start you off. She'll infill all these little bits, but these are the main steps that you will become that colourist that can colour. What about what we are just away to do in a moment with your embossing powders? You can see picking up that colour wet onto wet, create your backgrounds. Going into alcohol colouring now, and even this just shows you where you'll start with that light, you'll go with that next colour, and it starts to build and build. All of these written visually, and obviously written as well for you. Water-based this time, so stamping with pens and drawing out the colour. You can then see this one now. See how you've got that transition from your alcohol pen.
I know they keep saying Lion King in me here, but and I heard Leanne talking about this, I think, when we launched. So it reminds me of, I don't know if you remember the TV show Beauty and the Beast. It was like a TV show that had Ron Perlman in it and Linda Hamilton from the Terminator films, and it was basically a modern day take on Beauty and the Beast. And the lion reminds me of the Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
And
anyway, end of story.
And there will be different shows and programmes that's going to remind you of some of these images, not just the lion, but as well when you can see round its mane, but even around the mouth, the nose, all that attention to detail. You're not going to learn the outer. You're learning it all. If we go and briefly, let's go in again now with your watercolouring. You can see alcohol colouring with the owl, watercolouring with the owl. You can see the birdies here with the watercolour in, starting off, building till you get down to the bottom. Isn't it gorgeous? Alcohol colouring, same with the birds again. So there's different ways and steps of applying, whether it's with your aqua or your alcohol markers, but it's all there for you. And then I've only got alcohol colouring for the fox, but once again, it shows you there. That is with no lines. That's going in with a very light coloured ink pad that you can see there. So that is what you can start to learn when it comes to your feathers and fur. I do actually have it's going to be worthwhile going over these. Let's show you these ones as they are coloured the way that you're going to learn.
Yeah.
So this is the way that you're going to learn before you maybe want to do any different techniques to the surrounding or, you know, preserving the highlight, anything like that. Going in straight away, alcohol colouring. This is how these are going to look.
Amazing.
Play with the colours if you want to, of course. Now, these are the pen colours that you've got here, because when it comes to this box, as we show, there is the pens that you're getting. You're getting your 6 alcohol and then your 3 watercolour. You are getting your card stock, your watercolour card, as well as your alcohol card. You are getting your divider, of course, and that divider is going to enable you to pop your stamps on and then pop them into the binder. Everything there that you're getting with the feathers and fur. So I cannot say and explain enough how much that you are going to be learning from that feather and fur, but then taking elements from way back in that original box, some of the key tools or the knowledge that you're going to learn as well, dipping into them. It's there for you to go back to every week for a refresh, every month, maybe every few months. That's up to you. You can go back to them. And then what we'll do is we'll just very briefly, before the end of the show, we'll just have a quick look at that flamingo.
Just before we have a quick look at that, and also I just want to show you another deal from Cartland. Let's get this out of the way. There's been a vote. Who was the most Christmassy? Susie revealed the result as well, then rubbed it in further, saying it was by quite a bit as well.
Oh, was that?
It's only because his pants fell down. Craig, you've won the most Christmassy. Well done.
Oh, what can I say? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for winning that. That's fun. Do you know what, as well, just to say, I know this was a serious Colour Me Happy way to go through that Academy of Colour, but I'm glad that you just loved that banter back and forwards. And for all of you that have leapt in and started off on this journey with that first box as well, you are going to have an absolute blast learning everything you're going to learn.
Yeah, but I think that's what it's all about, isn't it? Like, you know, showing you exactly what you're going to get with these boxes, where you can go with these, how you can improve, but also, you know, you're going to have fun. I mean, not necessarily going to throw on a load of Christmas stuff whilst you're using your Academy of Colour, but, well, you might do. Hopefully your pants won't fall down whilst you're using your Academy of Colour. Colleen says, I'm still laughing about your pants, Craig. Sydney says, I've ordered the 2nd and 3rd add-on set during birthday week. They've already arrived. That's great news. And handed directly over to my husband to wrap for me for Christmas. We've heard this quite a lot today, actually. I kind of, I don't know. It is that time of year, but I find it a bit weird that, like, you get a present bought for you and then you know what it is, and then it gets wrapped and then you can't open it for another 40 days. Yeah. How frustrating is that?
So tempting.
Can you not just, you know, say, if you've got the 2nd and 3rd, can you not just go, oh, can I just have one now? I have a pen. Yeah. But no, it's brilliant. And do you know what? It's so nice, actually, that we brought the full sort of collection here. So if you need to add on, you can do. You know, if you want to start, you can do. If you want to pick and choose, you can do. And also, again, you know, it's a great way for you to be able to either nudge that, you know, partner who's with you watching right now saying, you know, I quite like one of these for Christmas, or indeed, I know this happens because it sort of happens everywhere that I've been. We get non-crafty partners watching this time of the year to come up with ideas for their partners. And if you are shopping for someone who loves their craft, you're not going to go wrong with one of these, are you?
You're not, no, and in actual fact, you might even just have some that are not creative, they're not crafty, or they don't think they are, you know, whether that is a husband or it could be a wife, and they'll be like, well, what are you doing there? Oh, let me have a dabble. That education's there, that they're going to dip in and have a look and have a try.
Yeah. Well done, Craig, says Kirsty Lee on the win. Woohoo, Craig, says Mary. Congratulations, Craig, says Michelle. And Fred says, when you drop your drawers, you get the vote. If only I'd known that. If only I'd have known.
Just as well I kept my dress trousers on, eh?
If only I'd known that in life in general.
Yeah.
Drop your drawers and you win. I mean, seriously. Oh dear. Life lessons as well as colouring lessons for you today. Very quickly, because I know Craig wants to show you something in the last 5 minutes. The Gemini Mini machine is coming up for you later on Cartload. Great deal on this today. You're going to get the machine. Obviously, that comes with one of your folders and your shims to get you going. It's such a great little machine. Craig and Leanne will talk more about this in more detail later on. I'm sure a lot of you already know about it. But the deal on this, just to highlight, you get the machine for $23.99, $39.99 platinum if you're in the US. But you also get 3 of the plastic folders and 1 of the plastic shims, and you're going to get the storage bag in as well. So that is a fantastic deal. Again, another great Christmas gift for any crafty people in your life, particularly maybe if the kids or the grandkids are wanting to get into craft. That is a really lovely Christmas bundle, hopefully a nice manageable price too. £23.99, $39.99. You've got about, I reckon, a couple of 3 minutes here just to quickly have a play with this collection. What can you show us?
Yeah, because I set this one up previous, so I thought it's literally going to take a minute or two just to show you. That is your wet onto wet, and that is with your embossing powders. You can do that once again with any of the images from the Feathers and Fur, or of course just any of the images in total. You can then take what you've learned from the Academy of Colour and use it into your other stamps as well. But as it is, what I have already done, I've stamped out the flamingo and done some heat embossing that we can see here. So we might just be able to see a slight glisten of an outline, just and no more. And then what I'm going to do is I've gone in with the fuchsia and tulip. So this is the watercolour pen from the Feathers and Fur. So I'm just going to lay that down onto my glass mat. Or of course you do have that really strong kind of acetate sheet, and that is the purpose of doing this. So if you don't have a glass mat, anything like that, don't worry. That's when you've got your original box, that's what that sheet is for. So all that I'm going to do is I've just got some water on a paintbrush here. I'm just going to dab some of that off, and then what I'm going to do is in the lines of the peacock, I'm going to paint some of that water. I'm going to do section by section. I'm just going to go in with this one part of the peacock. And as I say, I'm just going to go back, add a little bit more. Not to be saturated, but you want it to be wet.
Yeah.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, I'm going to wet my brush again. I'm going to dab some of that water off. And then I'm going to go in with the tulip here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab that colour in. And then what happens is, because it's wet onto wet, because you've already got water on your cardstock, the ink starts to flow out itself. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of the tulip here, just to make it a little bit darker for you to see.
Yeah.
But then you just naturally let it fall out. Because you've got that heat emboss line, that creates a barrier. And then what you can do again is if I come in, now every time I would still just give my brush a good wash and then come in, pick up the colour. And then what you can do is let's go in, pick up a bit of colour, going to go in with that fuchsia here. And then I would go in, remember you've got the paintbrush in that original.
Yeah.
And then all that you would do is just work your way around. How do I know where I'm doing it? Because I've followed along with that education that we've got from Leanne. So whether that light source is from the left, from the right, from the top, from the bottom, from diagonals, whatever way it is, you're going to have taken what you've learned and then you're going to transition that through. So you can go in, keep adding darker depths, darker shades, let it dry slightly if you want to go in with a little bit more deeper fuchsia, but by the time that you carry on section by section, you're going to do the same with the blue. Don't forget, stamp with the pen, spritz with that spritz tool you've got within the original one, create your background.
Quick question from Colin, he says, Craig, do you keep your pens in the boxes for these kits or do you put them in a container altogether?
Anything luxurious like that, I keep them in the boxes. I keep them flat like you would do with any of your markers or the pens on their side. But yeah, I keep everything in the box.
Hey, what a great show. Thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed all of the education, the tuition, the hints, the tips, the look-throughs, all of the boxes. Hopefully you've enjoyed all of the fun as well. That is it from me. I'll be back tomorrow with Sarah. We've got our HSM preview show tomorrow, 2 o'clock, 3-hour extravaganza. You're back tonight though with a big show.
I'm back tonight. Yeah, so that's of course going to be with Leanne. 3-hour Wednesday night cartload. You're not on the wrong day, don't worry. We've got incredible deals you've been shown earlier on with Lily herself. So yeah, I'm back tonight, but then I'm also back as well tomorrow with Jan. Wake up call, and then after you guys, I'm here with, guess what we're opening?
What are we opening?
The Craft Vault.
Yes! Make sure you come back. Lots to look forward to. If you've got these in your basket, get them checked out. But for now, massive thank you to the team. Craig, we'll see you later. Bye for now.
Toodles!